What is up, Light Fam? Welcome to another video. My name is David, your spiritual awakening coach, here to help you through your spiritual awakening. Now, one of the most valuable mindsets that you can learn is how to control your state and improve emotional intelligence. If you've been on your spiritual journey for longer than a minute, then you know that when your emotions are controlling you, you are being puppeteered by the ego. And a spiritual awakening is waking up from seeing life through the lens of the ego, which makes it tougher to be controlled by the ego. So when we control our state, we're controlling our emotions, which are energy and motion. Control your energy, and then you're able to vibrate in resonance with the things that you want, which then allows you to share the same vibrational space with them. So control your energy, control your life. But how do you control your state and improve emotional intelligence? Well, let's talk all about it right now. Let's go. So how do you control your state and improve emotional intelligence? By finding what I like to call your home vibe. Now, one of the things that Dr. Joe Dispenza says is it does no good to meditate and find that place of peace, presence, and power, and then lose that vibration as soon as you go out into the world and someone triggers you. Kind of defeats the whole point of meditating. But if that mental and emotional state attained in meditation can become our default state, then that vibration becomes our natural state throughout the day, not just in meditation. And then we can kind of adjust accordingly when we get away from that home vibe of peace, presence, and power. So how do we find our home vibe? Well, as you probably guessed by now, meditation. So if you've seen my meditation video, which I'll link right here, I'll link it in the description below as well. Or if you're one of my clients, then you're already familiar with the technique of releasing whatever energy you don't want to hold, fear, anxiety, worry, doubt, down through the bottoms of your feet into Mother Gaia. This gives you a clean, empty vessel. You draw in the white light, open all of your chakras, and you reach a heightened level of conscious awareness, presence, connection, peace, and power. And this is your home vibe. Now, I just want to give a word of encouragement for you guys out there that feel like you can't do meditation on your own and instead are doing guided meditations. As long as the guided meditations are getting you to a state of peace and higher consciousness where you feel seated in your authentic truth, then that's your home vibe. It's perfectly fine. Binaural beats might work as well, so give those a try. But once you reach this home vibe state, you really want to dial in that state by sitting with it and taking your conscious awareness through your entire body. Cycle your conscious awareness through your entire body 4 or 5 times, so much so to the point that you start to self-identify as that authentic, present, connected state where you feel attached to nothing, yet connected to everything. And so this home vibe becomes your natural state of being where you can call upon it and invoke it over your entire body when you start to get emotionally off-center. When you get emotionally off-center, you want to have a quick, easy process for resetting back to your home vibe so that you don't have to go back home and meditate. That would be a little impractical, right? So I have an easy 3-step process that I call activate, intend, allow. So 1, activate. You want to activate that centered presence of your home vibe with an action or a word that activates the feeling of that home vibe. For example, you can have an action like clapping your hands or humming. So maybe you hum the first verse of some song that gives you inspiration. Or you have a word that activates, like abracadabra. You want to make sure that it's a word that you don't use often and other people don't use, because the connection between that word and invoking that home vibe feeling on you will weaken the more that you hear it. So make sure it's a word that you don't use a lot. 2 is intend. So you want to intend and focus on that home vibe feeling of presence, peace, and power now. You want to maybe vision a white light emanating from your body, which deletes away anxiety, fear, worry, doubt. And 3 is allow. So you're going to allow the feeling of your home vibe to wash over your body and your mind. And in this step, it really turbocharges it if you give thanks that you already have returned to that place of peace, presence, protection, and power, and then you just allow yourself to surrender to basking in that feeling. Improving emotional intelligence helps you to live in and enjoy the present moment. Why is this important? Because fear and regret live in the future and the past. So when you're in your home vibe, you should feel whole, complete, perfect, self-validated, self-approved, abundant, and authentic. So when we veer off from our home vibe, what that really means is we're veering off from our greatest version. And in that moment, we know we're more in alignment with ego, which is more in alignment with fear. For example, let's say that you've put a whole bunch of emotional charge around getting a particular job or receiving an abnormal amount of abundance, or you're just way overly excited about some new person that you just met. Well, when you put that much emotional charge into these external outcomes, the fear is not getting that job or that that person won't like you back, etc. So that's when you want to activate, intend, and allow your home vibe to bring you back to energetic homeostasis so that your happiness and your self-worth is not attached to external outcomes. Controlling your state and improving your emotional intelligence means normalizing and acting in accordance with your greatest version, which means normalizing and acting in accordance with your home vibe. The more time you spend in your home vibe means the more time you spend walking in the shoes of your greatest version. The more time your greatest version spends on your current timeline, that greatest version now becomes your core identity, which becomes your subconscious identity. It's your subconscious identity that attracts the reality that you experience. So normalizing the frequency of your greatest version means not putting a bunch of emotional charge around receiving abundance or dating that person that you've put up on a pedestal, because that signal says, hey, this isn't normal for me, which can vibrationally mismatch you from what you want, which vibrationally mismatches you from living your greatest version. So in addition, if you're that over the moon about that new abundance or that new person or that job promotion, you now have the ability to tie your joy and your self-worth to those things. So if you don't get those things, you have the ability to lose that self-worth and lose the joy because you're emotionally attached to those things. So the level of emotional charge is equal to the level of attachment. Your greatest version comes from within. It doesn't come from external outcomes. Now, question of the day. What do you do to control your state and improve emotional intelligence? Let us know in the comments below how you are staying in your emotional lane out there, like fam, keeping your energetic homeostasis. If you need a hand controlling your state and improving emotional intelligence, we can work one-on-one together through Zoom. Check the description for that. Got a lot of good stuff. We got some different coaching options. We got the 45-day coaching package available now as well. We will be doing the group coaching in January, which is going to include self-love. It's going to include shadow work, getting you through the dark night of the soul, finding your life purpose, inner child work. We got it all for you over here at Lightways. If you have a question for me, add me over on Instagram _Lightways. Until next time, I will see all of my beautiful soul family in the next video. Light, love, and abundance to all that are watching and to all you love. Peace, guys.